Hello everyone, Kurt from Chicago Skycam. Today I'm going to show you how to shoot a moving time lapse on the DJI RS3. It's going to be paired with a Sony A7IV, but you can use any camera obviously. And it's going to be on a tripod, and if you want to know how to put your RS3 on a tripod, pick up some of these like on Amazon. Otherwise, all of your time lapses are going to be about 2 feet high, and sometimes you can't get the best shots there. So this will actually help you get some height with your time lapses and be able to shoot down and give you a little bit more options with them. Once you get to the screen here with the stabilization on it, you're going to want to swipe to the right so you get the time lapse option. You just put your finger on there and you're going to click on time lapse, which is the top option. If the button works, sometimes it's a little sensitive. I'm going to touch it like 3 times here. So very important for this exercise, I am not connecting the Bluetooth from the Sony A7IV to the RS3. If we do that, it's going to stop and it's just going to take pictures, and then we're going to have to compile the time lapse after. For this example, we want the camera to compile the time lapse. I think you'd get a more stable time lapse by having them connected because it's not shooting when it's moving, but I really haven't had that experience. You're going to see what happens when we don't. So we don't really care about the interval or the frames per second. That should all be set in your camera. All we care about here is the time, 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is going to be the duration from your first waypoint to your last waypoint. So if you have 8 waypoints in there, it's only going to take 10 minutes. It's going to go through all of them. If you have 2 waypoints in there, it's going to take 10 minutes, which is going to get us, it'll yield about a 10 to 12 second, depending on your settings, a 10 to 12 second time lapse overall. All you want to do here is hit next, and then you want to put in your waypoints by hitting the plus sign, and you're going to go 1 through however many you want. I'm probably going to do like 2 or 3 in here. Very similar if you have a DJI drone or any other product as far as waypoints. You're just putting them in there and it's going to go through that duration. You want to stay away from a lot of sudden changes with the time lapse and movement, so like quick left to rights, because it's going to get a little bit bouncy at that point or jerky, and you'll see what I mean. I'm going to do a nice sweeping motion across the city, but then I'm also going to try to come back left to right and look at the traffic, and you're going to see it's probably not going to be aesthetically as pleasing. So once you get through all that, you're going to just hit the start button. So it's, in this example, because we are not linking the camera with the RS3, we want to make sure our camera is already recording, and we go from there. And it's going to give you a progress meter. So as you can see here, it's at photo, what it's saying is photo 30 of 300. It really doesn't know, but that's approximately where it's at in the time lapse. You can see where it's at for each waypoint. We got 1, 2, and 3 here, and it's at 10%. It's going to run through this the entire time until it's complete. Now that we shot the time lapse, we're going to put it into some video editing software. I'm going to use Premiere Pro, but you can use whatever you like. We just probably want to add some stabilization to it, but let's take a look at what it looks like so far. And as you can see, it's fairly smooth right out of the gate. And you'll see this part at the end, and this is what I was talking about. So when you get those big changes, you can kind of see it messes up a little bit. And just as a good reminder, if you're shooting something that you're probably going to stabilize after, you want to give yourself a little bit more distance in terms of framing your shot. So you don't want to be as tight on the crop because you probably lose some of that. But let's just take a look at it. And as you can see, just sweeping across, there's some stutters in there, but it's not too bad. We should be able to clean that up. But you can see here when it gets to the end, it's kind of jagged when you change direction like that. So we'll see if we can fix this a little bit. And you're going to get warp stabilizer. And we're not going to do 50. We're going to bring it down to like 10% here and see how it does. So you're going to see here when it stabilizes, it's going to crop in a little bit. It's not too bad. And there we go. So like I said, those sweeping motions, left to right or up to down, it's going to give you something really smooth. And again, we didn't have to compile this ourselves. The camera did it for us. So really nice there. Let's take another look at it. I hope this was helpful for everyone. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or follow. Talk to you later.